Hey fam, welcome back to the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast. We're your hosts, Kevin and Aisha Shelton.
Hey, you switch it up every week.
I tried to, give people something new.
So before we get started,
All right.
like, subscribe, smash that like button, hit that notification bell for whenever a new episode comes out. I'm learning the YouTube technology, the YouTube verbiage. And then share this podcast with any friends or family that are interested in marriage and real estate.
Yes.
So today, I wanted to talk about a topic that's not so real estate, but it all kind of goes into it. So I want to talk about stress. Dun dun dun. I want some music. We're gonna have to put some music in the edit.
Jesus.
No, no music.
Sure.
But no, I want to talk about stress. I think that the world that we live in now is so fast paced. And everybody's selling you something. So whether it's, hustle culture off the internet or people like, oh, entrepreneurial lifestyle, da 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 da. And people never really talk about the backside of that, the actual work that goes into it, and then what comes from that, from stress. So this is more of a reflective personal journey for me, for sure. But I definitely want to get your take on it and how culture teaches us to work ourselves into the ground and hustle into the ground. But we never really focus on how do you manage the stress of it all.
I think also there's a balance too, right? Because the new term is the soft life, right?
Soft life?
Soft life.
Okay, explain that to me
Soft
because I
life.
haven't.
It just means where it's intended for women, I believe, from what I understand. It's intended for women, and the soft life is like where you're not stressing. And you're taking more vacations, you're going out more and wearing less. I don't know if that's really a part of it, but definitely for women, it's an African-American women specifically, the culture is like hustle. We work, we take care of kids, we do all these things. And the soft life is just where you give yourself the opportunity to softly move about the world.
Interesting.
And the point that I'm trying to make is because I know that you're going to talk about stress, but also and how, the internet culture tells us that we need to be hustling and we don't talk about the stress that comes with the hustle. There's also the internet culture that everybody's just chilling and on vacation and having the time of their life, but they're not working.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing. That's an interesting point. Because it's like all or nothing. You know what I mean? You either on a yacht in the south of France or grind, hustle. And there's a lot of stuff kind of in between that. There's a lot of life that's not lived on the internet that I don't think people really show, whether it's the family part of that or the years that it takes to actually build up a business before you get to that yacht on the south of France. And people really don't show the downside as much as they show the highlight reel, which I guess that's what the internet's for.
Yeah.
It's really the highlight reel. I know in my journey, and to kind of set the stage for this conversation, recently over the last couple of weeks, I have gone to several doctor's appointments really struggling with migraines, which I always got migraines throughout my life, but I had a really bad migraine that wouldn't go away. And then I subsequently went to a couple doctors and it turned out to be my blood pressure, and it was really tied to stress. So it was kind of a watershed moment for me because I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do all these things. And you think blood pressure wouldn't be my issue. But when you add in the stress of building a business and a family and just the kind of general work that I do and how I work myself, I'm very hard on myself, which makes the stress levels higher, right? So that was almost like a life-changing moment where I was like, okay, I got to find something else to do and break down this kind of toxic work culture that I've created for myself. And because I love what I do so much, it's hard to do that because I work for fun. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I've been working 7 days straight, actually since forever. I mean, as long as I can remember, but specifically inside of our business, I've been working 7 days straight since we went full time in our business. And I enjoy it. so even letting that go has been a challenge for me. So now taking on a new lens on life, whether it's fitness, which I haven't done enough of that, as well as hobbies and other things outside of work. For me, my life has been very much either the family or work. And now I have to find myself in the mix of that.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
That is interesting. I think about, what my role is as your wife when it comes to stress and the amount of work that you put in the business. I know the easy answer for you is just more sex and you'll be fine.
That definitely.
And
the funny thing is, as much as I love sex, love it.
you don't have to look at me like that when you say it. Good God.
Sex doesn't lower my blood pressure the same way.
No, it doesn't lower your blood pressure. So it's more than just that. But let Kevin argue. It'll be, if you just did.
Here's a question.
Don't
if
ask
you had
me no
unlimited
question.
sex, you think that you want to try it? See if 90 days of unlimited sex would,
I don't think I would survive. I don't think I would survive that.
It'd raise your blood pressure.
There are apparatuses that can assist us.
I don't want any apparatus.
I'm just saying I could be part-time and then, we have some things that are...
I need a full-time job. I need a full-time sex employee.
They have those.
Called my wife, yeah.
Is it prostitutes?
No. It's called Aisha Shelter.
Unfortunately, I'm not a full-time sex worker, so I can't help you with that. But I'm thinking about taking it up part-time so that I can help you with this stress.
I appreciate that.
But no, it's bigger. It's so much bigger than one thing, right? Yeah. So one thing is not going to cure your high blood pressure. One thing is not going to cure your migraines. You know what I'm saying? Stress does play a major part in what you're experiencing, but also diet and exercise and all of the things that we are putting in place. But I'd also like to point out, you could have all the money that you can imagine, and if you don't have good health, then what do you have, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's real. It's funny, when I had that migraine, literally I didn't care about anything but feeling good, like feeling better.
Yeah.
And I remember not feeling good, and I was like, this is the worst. Like, when I felt better, when I finally got, some prescription medicine and felt better, I was like, I never want to not feel good. You know what I mean? So that really sparked the fitness thing. And to my wife's credit, she's been pushing me getting in shape and getting my life together from a fitness standpoint. She maybe joined a gym, all these other things. But I hadn't taken it as seriously because I'm like, hey, all I do is work hard. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't party. I just go to work. And that will kill you just as much as drinking and smoking. Because
you got somebody out here drinking and smoking, but they living a stress-free life.
They live a stress-free life.
And you out here stressing. No, and I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did finally jump on the bandwagon. And it's like you say all the time, it's a journey. And so it'll be a journey to better health. But it's just like with Steve Jobs. Wow. It's just like with Steve Jobs. Someone said that if all the money that he had, he couldn't buy his health back.
That is true.
Right? And so we are working hard to build the life of our dreams and legacy for our family, but we have to make sure that we're also preserving ourselves as well.
No. Yeah.
So how are you going to preserve yourself going forward? You had all of these epiphanies and migraines and blood pressures and all of these things. How do you plan to preserve you so that you're here to enjoy the fruits of your labor?
So here are the 4 lessons that I learned from not only my journey with stress, but also from the advice of the doctors and things like that, right? So the first thing is fitness, which is something that I always took lightly, but now I have to take much more seriously. So getting in the gym, putting it on my calendar every morning, I got to start off with fitness. So I set aside the first 2 hours of the day. I'm not even going in the office until 10, until I get my workout in. Second thing is diet. So whether it's the meal prep choices that we're taking or where we eat out to dinner, or even just the day-to-day lunch decisions that I'm making the right decision so that I'm not compounding whatever the issues are for blood pressure with a bad diet. Third thing is having a de-stressor. So that's massages or hobbies or things like that. Because if you don't have anything else that you have to live for, right? Like you just can work yourself to death. So for me, finding new things, I've never had to have. I've had hobbies before early in my life, but I haven't had a hobby in the last probably decade. So now I have to find out who I am and what I like to do and all those things, and finding other alternatives to work because I love work so much. Now I have to put that down to have more life outside of that. And then the fourth thing is truly taking a break and stopping, like putting parameters around myself. So starting my day at a certain time, ending my day at a certain time, putting work down, not working 7 days a week, not working myself to the bone. It's so easy to do. And the world tells you work. And, you know, there's a reason they take a siesta in, Spain or whatever. Like, there is a limit to what your body can do and how hard you can drive yourself. So while the world tells you hustle, you know, sleep when you're dead, you gonna be dead because you're not sleeping and you're not actually recovering. So giving yourself ample time to put work down, whether it's being present with your family, taking a nap, sleeping, getting some type of recovery in, whether that's taking a walk or reading a book, but something that you can do once you turn those work lights off, and getting yourself back centered so that you can have more life. So yeah, that's my plan.
No, that's good. Those are all very good points and all very personal, right, to you, but they're just universally great things to do in order to, while we're building these empires, that we're building to remember to live. And if you don't, you can work yourself to death and, you know, find yourself not here with us. And for me, that's the issue, right? Like, we got some pretty hefty life insurance policies.
We definitely do. We can definitely talk about that.
You can keep all of that money, because if I had to lose you prematurely, I would much prefer you on this side than I would the money that comes from.
Is there a limit to that though? Like, how much life insurance could we get where like you'd be cool?
No.
Like, what if it's like 100 million?
When you realize that money can't buy happiness, then that means nothing, right? Like, I'm happy with the complete family. I'm happy with my husband and my children waking up to the both of us every day. Like, that's what makes me happy. That's the essence of why I want to live. So you can give me $100 million, but if I'm unhappy in this life without it, that just doesn't work for me, right? So I think the monetary stuff, it's a good reminder that, you know, you can have all the things that you want, all the accoutrement of life, but if you're not here to enjoy it, or you're suffering in your enjoyment, right? So you're still here now, but you're suffering. Right? Is that valuable? So, I mean, and then with grace too, because you always set these very lofty goals. You are a high achieving person.
I am.
And I appreciate that, because that makes my life very soft. Thank you. You're a high achieving person, but you also don't give yourself grace because you're so used to being so efficient and being a high achiever. And so I feel like as your wife, my role is to give you a soft place to land.
I like that.
Listen, a soft place to land, both physically and metaphorically.
Soft place to lay my head.
Because
physically and physically. Now, let me tell a quick story. So in our wedding vows, one of Aisha's wedding vows was to be there for me physically. And physically, she said physically twice.
I did.
In the wedding vows. And I hold her accountable to that all the time. I was like, hey, look.
You said physically and physically.
Yeah,
I was like,
oh,
bruh.
Not tonight, baby. I'd be like, hold on, physically and physically.
It was a typo. Literally, I'm writing my vows in the car on the way to the wedding venue, and physically came out. So as I'm reading, I'm like, physically and physically. And I was like, wait a minute. And everyone laughed in the audience.
Physically, look.
Listen, And you know what? I'm trying to. Okay, you know what? As a man who provides so well for his family, I make that consideration all the time.
It's like the wind just comes and takes your breath. It's like all the time.
Because you are a man of excess. You want so much. My God. I mean, and you deserve it and everything. You really do.
You be making it sound like I want you to be like P Valley every day.
If I would, you would.
I would definitely.
I know.
I would P Valley it every night.
All day.
We can turn these mics off.
Come on, man.
I'm serious.
So stress and stuff and
so you know, I like this topic, and I'm appreciative that we got the opportunity to talk about it today, because I think it's a real world thing, and this was a scary moment for me. But I want to say that I'm thankful that modern medicine exists, and nothing's a death sentence until it's over. You know what I mean? Like Tillman Fertitta says, until they close the doors and lock them, and whatever you fight. So the same passion and hard drive that I have towards work, I need to have the same thing towards my health and towards the recovery of all this work, right? I think I had some very specific goals to hit within the last 3 years to overcome everything that we went through from 2019 and all the kind of remnants from really pivoting our business to where we are now. And we overcame those things, and I'm thankful for that. Mm-hmm. And now it's like a new chapter where I have to find more life, because the business is more stable and consistent, and we're building out the team and we're hiring more people. So it's no longer about us doing the work, or, you know, how much work can Kevin do. It's way more about me being here to lead the team and setting the example of what balance can look like, even for our family. And I'm excited for the next chapter. I'm excited to learn myself again and learn what I like and learn what I don't like outside of sex, because obviously I like that. But this is going to be fun, and more updates to come on that, more kind of experiences. My therapist says just try a bunch of shit, and I don't even know what to try. I might learn basketball. I don't know basketball. I'm 6'4". I don't play basketball, but I want to learn. And that's exciting. Play more golf. Shout out to all my friends that play golf, because I'm definitely going to do more of that, especially as the weather gets better. So I'm going to take days off. I've never taken days off like that. Even when I work corporate, I'd never take a day off. Like, unless I was dog sick, I would never take off. So now I'm like actually going to take days off. So stay tuned for this new Kevin that's going to emerge. And if I start looking better and finer, y'all leave a comment. Y'all let me know.
Wait a minute.
I'm
Don't do
get
that.
myself together.
Don't do that.
Be out here in the streets. Well, no, you know,
you're going to be out here in the streets.
I'm going to be out here in the streets with you.
You know what? Side note, one of the reasons why I don't want you to lose weight is because I like you the size that you are, right? And so if you got skinny, that would not be hot.
I don't plan on getting skinny. I'm just going to get cut up. I'm messing with my boy, LeBron. And we gonna get right.
Yeah, that
and
would
he
be
gonna
nice.
have me looking fit and fine. And you know, I'm gonna make 36 look good. I'm 36 now, so you know.
Well, stress free while you build these businesses and make 36 look good. Cool. Mm-hmm. I'm with it.
Isn't stress free sex something?
This has been the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Physically.
Bye.